Yo, what is up, guys? It is Detox, and welcome back to another video. Now, in the last video, we started the first time series, and I talked about my very first time getting drunk, getting fucked up, drinking alcohol, going crazy, you know what I'm saying? But today, we're going to chill it out, or really not chill it out because it was a crazy fucking night, but we're going to talk about the first time I ever got high, and that was obviously on fucking weed. Like most kids, you feel me? Unless you were like an ADHD kid and you took a bunch of Adderall, snorted some lines, some shit, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy. Let's get right into it. So, to set the stage, it was back in high school, 16 years old, that's the time period we're around, and maybe I'd say a month or two after I had drank for the first time is when this occurred. Now, leading up to this point, I had drank a few more times, and they weren't nothing special. They were pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie, and actually this night that I smoked weed for the first time, I really wanted to get drunk because I was really starting to enjoy alcohol, but then I found weed and my whole world got flipped upside down, I guess, to put it lightly. So I had been drinking a few more times, and during this time also, like I had mentioned in the last video, I had wanted to play basketball very badly. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to do something with basketball because shit, I'm tall as hell and I love basketball. I mean, what can I say? But I had gotten injured during practice one day. I'm not sure what the injury was. I'm not even sure if it was a real ass injury, bro. I was just kind of not in the mood to play anymore at this time. The more and more I drank, you know, it wasn't like a downward spiral. It wasn't like I was drinking every day, but the more and more I'd go out, hang out with friends, I noticed that I enjoyed the social aspect of life a lot more than the fucking physical aspect of life, and I understand you need both, but at this time, I really couldn't give a fuck. So I kind of said fuck basketball in the back of my mind. This wasn't my decision to quit or anything, but in the back of my mind, it was kind of leading up to the point where I was just like, you know what, basketball isn't for me anymore. So I was hanging out with my friend Trey one day at Sonic. You know how all high schoolers did back in the day, fucking Walmart parking lots, Target parking lots, Sonic fucking parking lots. Back in high school, at least in my town, no one had shit to do, so they'd fucking hang out in parking lots. I mean, not me particularly. I did go a few times, and tonight was one of those nights, but I didn't really see the fun in it, to be honest, because it'd just be a bunch of people hanging around, acting like they was doing something when they really wasn't, but that's besides the point. Tonight, I decided to indulge in these retarded activities. So, we're chilling in Sonic, in the Sonic parking lot. I think it's just me and Trey in my car, and he asked me, yo, bruh, what do you want to do tonight? And I told him, bruh, I'm out for the night. I told my parents I'm spending the night at a friend's house, so we can do whatever the fuck you want. But I was really hoping to drink some alcohol. Now, Trey looks at me like, bruh, ever since you drank for the first time, you've been wanting to drink like every fucking weekend. And not gonna lie, he was being very truthful. Whenever I find something I like, I get very not addicted. I mean, I guess you could call it addicted. Whenever I find something I like, I do the hell out of it until I'm just bored and sick of it, and then I throw it away to the side. And a lot of times I'll never touch that shit again. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted to drink, but Trey was like, look, dude, ain't nobody trying to drink. I know you got fucking beer and shit, but you know what you're gonna do tonight? You're gonna smoke some weed because I've been trying to get you to smoke weed for the longest fucking time and you haven't done it yet. And I told him, I said, bruh, look, Trey, I would like to try that, but I just don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to risk getting my fucking, I think I had an Xbox at the time, my Xbox taken away, getting grounded, my fucking phone taken away. If any of those things would have gotten taken away from me in high school, I would have had a mental fucking breakdown like any other kid. So I told him, I was like, Trey, I don't think that this is a good idea. I don't think I should be doing this. I'm going to get caught. I'm going to get in trouble. It just doesn't sound like the best plan, you feel me? And he told me, look at me, bruh. Look me in the eyes. Okay, he didn't say this shit, but he said, look at me, bruh. It's going to be fine. All you're going to do is just smoke some and then fall asleep, wake up the next morning. You're going to sleep good as hell. Nothing bad's going to happen. It's going to be straight. And Trey was pretty fucking convincing. So I told him, I said, all right, Trey, you know what? I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna try this one time just for you, bruh. After that, I asked him, I said, Trey, where are we gonna get the weed at? You know, I know nobody who smokes weed besides you and maybe this other kid who I'm kind of friends with, but not even really that good friends with, so I couldn't even ask him where the plug at, you know what I'm saying? So I said, Trey, where are we getting this fucking gas at? And Trey says, look, you remember Isaac from back in middle school? I know you don't hang out with him much anymore, but he goes to our high school still. You know that. He smokes weed. I just smoked with him maybe a few weeks ago. We can go get some gas from him and have a good fucking time. I said, bet. I started my car and we got on the road to fucking Isaac's house to pick him up and get some gas. Now, Isaac's house was maybe 2 minutes away from this Sonic. Everything in my town is really close by, especially the people who went to my middle school because they zone them off based on district. So everyone in that district was real close by. So we picked up Isaac, and then Isaac, I guess he had the weed already. I don't remember if we went to go buy it or if Isaac had it. I'm pretty sure Isaac fucking had it. I don't remember how much he had on him, but something happened with that bag of weed. We'll talk about it at the end of the story. Now, I don't remember how much weed he had on him, but based on our high school standards, he had that pack on him for real, bruh. But I told both of them, Isaac and Trey, I said, guys, look, we're not smoking in my car. I don't know where else to fucking smoke, so y'all gonna have to find a place. And they was like, what are you talking about, bro? We can smoke in your car. We just roll the windows down, blow it out the window. It's going to be fine. And I told them, I'm sorry, guys. We really not doing that because I'm not going to get in trouble with my parents and lose all my shit. You feel me? I'm not losing my shit over smoking no weed. I was really freaking out in my mind, and I really didn't even want to do this. I was kind of just getting peer pressured into it like every other fucking thing I've ever done in my life. But you know, I don't regret it whatsoever. So Trey says, look, I'm going to call up my sister. She smokes gas. We going to see if we can go smoke over at her house, maybe on her back porch or something, and it's going to be a good time. I said, bet. Isaac said, bet. And Trey calls his sister. Now, Trey's sister is okay with everything, but at this time, not anymore. At this time, she kind of lived in a sketchy part of town by my area. So when we were driving up to the house, I was getting even more and more nervous. And this was back at the time where I hadn't been to too many sketchy places. You know, I was only focused on basketball, school, and having a good time, making friends and shit. I don't know, normal kid shit. So this was my first time entering a bad, quote unquote, part of town, you feel me? And we pull up to her house. We go around back to the back fucking porch or whatever, and she comes out. She says hello to us, asks us how we're doing, asks if we're going to need some water, because she mentioned something called cottonmouth. Now, for those of you who have never smoked before and are watching this as a guide to smoking or some shit, cottonmouth is when your mouth gets really fucking dry from smoking, and it especially happens to people who haven't smoked before or who don't smoke that often. I don't know why it does that. Some people don't even get this shit. It definitely happened to me, though, for my very first time, my very first few times. My mouth got dry as fuck, but let's get into that. So she gives us the water, and I asked Isaac and Trey, I said, guys, how the fuck are we gonna smoke this shit? I don't know anything about smoking. I don't know what the fuck we finna do. And Isaac says, Trey, I got a shell. I think I left it in the car. And then he asked me, can I go get that shit? I told him, for sure, here's the keys. He goes out, gets the shell, and pulls back up, or I guess walks back around to the back porch. He breaks open the shell, breaks it down, dumps the guts, and they begin rolling the blunt. I asked them, what is this shit? Because I'm still clueless. I'm like nervous at this point. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. And obviously, you shouldn't be too nervous going into smoking weed because it already kind of adds that effect to it anyway. So if you're already like a nervous person for your first couple times, it may be a little overwhelming. But anyway, they rolled the blunt and they said, are you ready, bro? I said, yeah, I guess as ready as I'll ever be. And Trey says, look, when I pass this to you, you're going to hit it maybe 3 or 4 times, a little bit harder than you hit a jewel, and then you're going to pass it to Isaac, okay? I said, bet. Let's go then. So they start smoking the blunt. They fire that hoe up, pass it around, and it eventually comes to me maybe in about 5 to 7 minutes. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. I was even thinking, bro, I'm happy I decided to start smoking weed, obviously, because I be smoking all day, every day now at this point. But holy shit, I tapped the blunt maybe 3 times. I think I hit it 3 times, a little bit harder than you hit a jewel, just based on Trey's instructions. And I passed it to Isaac, who was sitting to the left of me, and Trey was sitting to the right. So I passed it to Isaac to the left, because we going left in roto. And all of a sudden, I'm just sitting there, and I don't feel anything for a second. And I asked Trey, when am I going to feel high? How am I going to know? And then Isaac and Trey both look at each other with fat ass smiles on their faces. And they said, oh, you going to know, bruh. You going to know. And in my mind, I was like, okay, shit, I guess I'll know. And maybe 5 to 7 minutes passes. I don't know. I'd say maybe like 3 to 5, actually. Because out of nowhere, everything just became in slow motion for me. It felt like I was in space, or maybe not space, but it felt like everything was lagging. Like if I told my hand with my brain, like you know how your brain tells your body when to move. If in my brain, I'm trying to explain this. I'm sorry if this sounds fucking stupid. But if in my brain, I told my hand to move, it felt like it would move like half a second after I told it to move in my brain. And that was the funniest shit I ever saw in my life. So I just start busting out laughing, and I can't stop. And that makes Isaac and Trey go fucking crazy laughing too. And we are just cracking up on the back porch for about 10 minutes straight. And then my mouth got dry as shit. I downed the water bottle, and I'm just sitting there. I'm still like kind of giggling, kind of laughing, but I start to feel weird. I start to feel uncomfortable. I don't know if it was because of the setting we were in and I had never been there before or anything, but I started to feel real fucking weird. And then I started getting nervous, bruh. And this is when I started tweaking out in my fucking brain. I don't know what, bruh, but I felt like I couldn't feel my hands. I felt like I couldn't feel shit. I just started tweaking out. I was just high as shit, bruh. I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody. It just happened to me my very first time fucking smoking. And I'm happy I got that shit out the way early. Can't even lie, because I've seen some crazy shit. But anyways, I'm just sitting there tweaking the fuck out, and I tell Trey and Isaac, y'all, I'm tweaking the fuck out. We need to go do some shit. So Trey says, bet, you gonna drive us back to your side of town, like where we all live, and then we're gonna figure out something to do then. I told Trey, bruh, I am not driving the fucking car right now. I cannot drive. I was genuinely fucked up. This is what I miss about getting that high off weed. This is back when weed was damn near like a psychedelic for me. When I first started smoking, I don't know if anyone else has ever had that experience too. And keep in mind, I've done acid. I've never really done shrooms. I'm not going to cap to y'all, but I've done acid maybe like 20 some times, and we didn't feel like acid, of course, but it felt like a psychedelic to me because of how fucking high I got, and I had never felt or experienced any sort of high whatsoever besides being drunk before, which is vastly different from smoking weed. So I was kind of tweaking the fuck out, not knowing what was going on. So I tell Trey, you can drive my car back to the south, because we live on the south side of town. You can drive my car back to the south, and then we'll figure out something to do. And not much else happened besides me tweaking out. I remember that time also moved slow as shit. I'd think it was like 9:05 when we started smoking. I remember a specific minute number. It was like 9:05, and we sat in the car for like a minute and a half, 2 minutes before we took off to go back to the south. And I thought it had been 30 minutes. I looked at my fucking phone after that, and I was like, bruh, it had only been 2 minutes. I thought it had been like 15 to 20 minutes. I was tweaking out, bruh. So time may move slow for you too, or feel like it moves slower for you too for your first time smoking weed. But after all that chaos, not much else happened. We went back to my side of town. We couldn't find anywhere to sleep, so we ended up sleeping in the car, me and Trey, because Trey couldn't go back home. He'd get in trouble, and I couldn't go back home because I get in trouble because I didn't want to wake up my parents. So we ended up sleeping in the car outside one of our friends' houses, because he said we couldn't come inside because his parents would have woken up too, because it was like 3 in the the morning, but we could stay outside until like 7 or 8 in the morning and then leave to go home or some shit. So that's what we ended up doing. I woke up the next day. I slept good as hell for sleeping in the car, not gonna lie. Woke up the next day though, went back home, and this is crazy what happened next, bruh. I walk up in my house and my parents are looking at me mad as fuck, like they know I did some shit. And I'm just, my heart's pounding. I'm like, oh fuck, they know, I'm gonna be fucked, bruh. And they said, Jack, we need to search your car. And I said, what? You need to search my car for what, bruh? For what? They said, we need to search your car. It's our car. We paid for it. We're going to search your car. I mean, you can't argue with that. If you didn't pay for the car, you can't really say shit. So I said, all right, y'all can search the car. They searched the car. This dumb ass motherfucker Isaac, I will never forget this shit, bruh. He left, like, I don't know how much weed was in the bag, to be honest, but my dad came back inside and he looked at me so fucking mad. He said, you had a whole bag of pot in your car. What were you doing with a whole bag of pot in your car? And I looked at him like, oh fuck, I don't know what to say. But you know me, quick thinker, made up a clean ass lie saying I picked up a friend last night who normally doesn't hang out with us. He was a friend of Trey's, not really a friend of mine, so I didn't really know him too well, and I guess he had left the weed in the car, and shit, I hadn't gotten in trouble or gotten caught for anything at this point, so my parents believed me, and I was off scot fucking free, bruh. Hell yeah, it was straight. But I do eventually end up getting caught by my parents, but we'll go through that in the little timeline of events here. Anyways though, I really hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, all that bullshit. Leave a comment suggestion of what you want me to talk about next. Also leave game suggestions, bro, because I play the same rotation of like 5 games, but I need some new games. I need some new shit to check out, and I'm into anything, so let me know. I got the Switch, PS5, PC, any games, anything, just let me know. Anyways, I really appreciate the support again. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.